So today is November 8th. It is election day. No election results have been posted yet, even though it's almost 3:30. November 8th, 2016. It's a rough one. I'm going inside. I have another election to do. Do I elect to get more fills or don't I? The doctor is about to give me some feedback, so I'll let you know how that goes. Hopefully, we come to an understanding, he and I, about what needs to happen with these here boobies. So I'm in the procedure room. She told me to get naked so he can see me. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm hoping that we don't end up with a stalemate, he and I. And it's unfortunate that we're even at this place since it was supposed to be my decision. But okay. Well, I am not getting any bigger. I am at 650 and I'll stay at 650. He will bring in implants to surgery that are 700 and 750 and see if he can put them in and they look right and symmetrical or whatever. Stand by, let me get in the car. So basically he said the asymmetry, meaning the fact that my right breast is lower and more outside than my left breast, and that my nipples are starting to point more and more to the outside, will just get worse if we put more saline in. So my skin has chosen to grow from the inside. So when they put the tissue expander in, it's getting bigger here, which means it's pushing the nipple out. My skin is doing that. He's not, so not his fault. The ability to pin me in on the side gets harder and harder the bigger I go, because it's going to be heavy and whatever. In addition, because the tissue expander is the shape that it is, my breasts are ridiculously looking like balls, right? Which I knew, but I didn't know that that means that I can't get anatomically shaped implants. So basically, the way that the expander has, become misshapen because they only put in a 400cc expander, as it chose to get, when they put in more saline and it got bigger and bigger, it got bigger in a sort of ball shape. And so the anatomical implants have less likelihood of having good skin adhesion and not having rippling on my skin. So, one, he doesn't want to go bigger. There are a number of reasons he doesn't want to go bigger. The worst of those is that if he continues to get bigger, there is a possibility that this will rupture. It'll be traumatic for me, but the saline will just be absorbed by my body. But it's going to feel crazy, and my boob is going to look ridiculous until we can get back in there, right? So he doesn't want to risk that. Two, he doesn't want to go bigger because my nipples are facing more and more outward. So in a bra, I'll look great, but as soon as I take my bra off, you'll see why are her nipples almost on the side of her breasts. Three, he doesn't want to go bigger because it'll be harder to keep a pocket where your implant is supposed to stay stuck, right? So I'm done expanding whether I want to be or not. So that's problem one. This is my current size. This is it. I will be 6'50" until we go to surgery. Problem two, no anatomical implants. I will get round 1980s ball-shaped implants because I want to look like a divorcee going through midlife crisis in the 80s. That's completely what I was looking for. Not at all. So I guess I'll get Allergan. He will get me the harder, more viscous, like gummy bear style, I guess, implant material so that it'll be a thicker, higher projection. But it'll be ball shape. It won't be, it's not going to look as natural. And if that wasn't bad enough, number 3 punch for the day. I can't have surgery until Christmas or maybe New Year's because he's literally that busy. It's not even got anything to do with what my body can handle or when the implants come in the mail. It's literally that he's not available. So of course I told them, you know, if you have a cancellation, right? But they haven't even ordered the implants yet. He did say in surgery he will order 700 to 750, and if I requested 800, but he just doesn't, he thinks it'll be too distorted if he puts in an 800. So of course I'm gonna have him bring in a bigger size, at least 750. I will try to vlog later. Right now I'm super emotional, and haven't really processed this crappy appointment. To add to that, 5 or 6 states have finished or closing polls, and their initial numbers are that Trump is winning. So in a super stupid, ironic way, I can be a divorcee with 1980s looking fake baseballs on my chest. It'll match the kind of people who voted for Trump. Everybody will just, I'll fit right in with the new America. It'll be great again. 1980s. Great again. Okay. I'm going to dinner with a really good friend of mine. Maybe after that I'll vlog some more. And, you know, I will have processed some of what's happening right now. This process sucks. And even when you think it's not going to suck. You know, like when you get to pick your future titties. Even when it's not supposed to suck, it sucks. Okay, YouTube, so I'm feeling a little better. It's still election day. If you believe the polls, Clinton is up by a skosh. North Carolina just went for Trump, and it's 190 to 187 according to the BBC. I'm sure there are different numbers everywhere, but I like to not watch the US news because it tends to have a slant. Anyway, back to boobs. I'm at peace. It's gonna be okay. This too shall pass, right? I think I've said that a few times. So if I'm to summarize everything that happened, 1, I'm at 650 cc's and I'm not getting any bigger. 2, I am going to get round implants, which is not what I wanted. And 3, I am not getting surgery as soon as I expected. Also disappointing. So let's break this down one by one. My boobs, I was involved in that decision, so I was crying about it in the car, but partly because it feels like it's out of my control. So I went with skin-saving, nipple-sparing mastectomy, and part of that means that I'm trusting my body to do what it needs to do during the process. So my breasts had nipples on the front, like they go, you know, how nipples do. Maybe slightly, you know, wide, I guess, I'll say. But certainly not canted at 45 degrees, right? So when they put in the tissue expanders, your skin does expand. It grows. That's the whole point to a tissue expander. The problem is they can't decide, no one can decide but your body where your skin's going to grow from. So my skin grew out from the sternum side, and almost no skin came from this side. So what that means is, what you would hope is that skin would come from both sides and the nipple would stay front and center. Because it did not, the bigger my tissue expander gets, the further out my nipple is getting. So even if I went like, well, let me get 800 cc implants, let me get 1,000 cc implants, the bigger I let this tissue expander get, the more that my skin is choosing to grow right here, which is why this area has been thin and a little bit shiny. And we talked about that in previous vlogs. So this skin on both breasts is the shiny, sort of stressed out skin. And the reason for that is because it's brand spanking new. It is the skin that's choosing to grow. So because of that, nipples are coming out to the outside and a little bit down. So the doctor said, okay, I can put in maybe 700. I think 750 is pushing it. Some doctors say you can go twice as big as the tissue expander we give you. I gave you a 400 cc tissue expander, so you are already 2.5 times, more than 1.5 times as big as it gets, right? So you can't get more than 2 times bigger. I'm not comfortable with that. And you don't like the shape you have, because we, of course, had already discussed the circular shape. So, unfortunately, if I choose to expand further, my nipple placement is going to be ridiculous. Like, more asymmetric or uncomfortable, aesthetically displeasing. So it's almost like partially because I chose to do a nipple-sparing mastectomy, I also signed myself up for whatever my body, you know, can do in terms of where the skin grows. I'm going to have to live with that, right? As opposed to someone who had no nipples, this wouldn't matter, right? But my nipples right now are here. How much further out am I? My nipples are right here, right? So I don't want that. So he doesn't want to expand me anymore. That was the most resounding argument to me. Although there is another argument, which is you can only fill a tissue expander so much before it will actually burst. You know, like it just becomes, the wall of the tissue expander becomes thin enough that I'm laying there sleeping one night and it wouldn't hurt my body. The saline would just be absorbed into my body and I'd probably, you know, pee it out or sweat it out or whatever. But that would be pretty traumatic to wake up to a flattened, oozing breast, right? So, and then of course we'd have to rush into surgery to do the implant surgery. So that was pretty resounding, convincing argument for him. So he really pushed hard to not get any bigger. In addition, he felt like tacking this side in, which he does need to do. He needs to pick it up and tack it in. It's going to be harder the bigger I go, right? So he doesn't want me to get much bigger. So, fine. 650 it is if you will try to put in a 750 cc implant. He said he would. He said he would even try 800, but he doesn't think it'll look right. It'll fill up the skin I have to the point that my nipples are going to be the front of the breast is going to be blank, and the nipple's going to be to the side. So he doesn't think it's going to look right. So I'm probably stuck with 750. And then that brings me to I can't be anatomically correct. So really it's the shape of the breast that's causing that problem, because my current tissue expanders are round. So this tissue expander, you can just see it, like how round this is. That roundness is not the right shape to take a gummy bear anatomically shaped implant. And here's why. It fits against the chest wall and then it smooths out in a specific shape that has a slope to it. Well, of course, my breast has been shaped in such a way that I have, okay, that's a problem for me. But what that really means is if he put in a sloped implant, the skin, what's going to happen, how is the skin going to adhere to the outside of that implant? He doesn't know, and he can't guarantee that there won't be skin rippling, because there'll be areas where there's excess skin because of the way my skin grew. There'll be excess skin in some areas where it doesn't have a part of the implant to attach to, because of the way my tissue expander grew, and then the way that my skin grew around it, we now have a baseball-shaped skin sac, if you will. So trying to squeeze an anatomically correct implant in there is not possible. It still upsets me. Even though I was part of the decision-making process and I understand his arguments, I am afraid that I will be disappointed with the outcome. And I really just, I'm tired now. I'm just tired. I'm so... It's been a long road. He has been, some of this is just out of his control, and I think some of this is, I personally think he should have done a better job on the first surgery, making me more anatomically the same or symmetrical, but I don't think that changes the fact that my breasts grew the way that the skin that covers what is these tissue expander breasts is, I don't think he can change that. I think that's nature, right? I'm still disappointed about it because it was the only thing, like a saving grace. I didn't want to look like I have implants. I didn't want to look, like a caricature or like a stereotype. I just wanted to look as natural as possible. And I won't now. He did say that he'll, after the swelling goes down, after the implants are in, if I'm unhappy, he may do some fat grafting for my belly or something, to, make it not look so much like a 1980s. I'm going to Google and find y'all a picture of my worst case scenario so that 15 vlogs from now when you see my results and I have that, we'll reference back to this picture. So y'all saw that, right? That's the picture that I don't want to be. Feels like the picture of what I'm about to get. And nipples a little bit not right. Ugh! Okay, so there it is. Happy election day. I'm vlogging on the phone, so I can't tell you who's winning. It's literally Trump's winning, Hillary's winning, Trump's winning, Hillary's winning. Kind of like a mastectomy, because sometimes I feel like I'm doing well and I'm getting through this, it's gonna be great and positive minded, and sometimes I feel like fuck this process
and all the things that are shitty about it. So, whether you're a Trump or Hillary supporter, I hope you went out and voted, because we're stuck with whatever's about to happen. You know what else is about to happen? I'm going to keep on going through this mastectomy process, this reconstruction process, and I'm going to keep on vlogging about it. So, my favorite spot when I'm in my dining room, beep, 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 subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Next time I vlog, we'll know who the next president of these United States is. Hold on to your hats. We'll see you soon.